We've got, let me show you here. We've got Frontier Precision. This is their mobile unit right here. They're setting up some of their LiDAR units. Got an M30 in the air over there. We've got Nick Ernst from New Jersey over there teaching LiDAR. We've got YouTube sensation Billy Kyle.
What up?
You're live.
Oh, I'm live?
Yeah. So Billy, what do you think about this?
Well, I'm liking the Danishes, I'll tell you that.
You liking the Danishes?
The Danishes are good.
Yeah. So what are you teaching today?
I'm not teaching anything, I'm just floating around. But
I thought you were going to help Kim with the photography.
They're inside. It's a little bit of a tight space, so.
Okay. All right.
What are you looking forward to today?
Just meeting everybody.
Yeah, sweet.
Get to know everybody better.
They're getting set up with the mapping over there.
Uh-huh. So how many? You got 120,000 miles on your Tesla?
Yeah.
That's crazy in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I should have driven it down
So
here.
you drove it to Vegas for Vegas?
No, I drove it to Arizona.
Arizona, okay.
To be with Pilot Institute, and then drove out to Dallas twice at the end of last year. So that's not a bad drive.
So tell me about the Pilot Institute program you wrote for Pilot Institute.
Yeah, so we did a photo and video course, real estate related, and it went really well. I mean, I think that real estate is a big industry for photographers. I think that real estate's a big industry for like photographers and videographers to get into. So, it was cool to be able to share all of that information because I think that's the one aspect of photography and video where there's a lot of volume,
Uh-huh. And what is that? We have a discount code. Can you share it?
I don't know. Do you guys have one for APSI?
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
Yeah. All right, I'll share the discount code.
Yeah.
But it's like how many hours is like 10 hours?
Yeah, there's a lot in there because it's not only me and Ken, but there's also Greg teaching like a
Greg Revenue of Pilot Institute.
Yeah, like a general video and photo course, and then you've also got Vic Moss teaching architectural photography. So it's a lot.
Yeah,
but it's good.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So I'm going to kind of go around. They're setting up a mapping course over there, but this is the Frontier position from. They sell drones, but they're a customer service. So this is a LiDAR unit. Then this is in a VTOL LiDAR unit, and it's got different payloads in there, different batteries so you can load to it. Probably flies what, hour and a half?
What's that?
How long does it fly?
Hour and a half. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
you're live on YouTube.
Hello.
Just so you know, so that you can't cuss or anything.
I'll try not to.
Yeah, don't talk about your girlfriend. Your wife might hear that. Yeah. All right. So how much is this LiDAR unit?
So this is the Yellow Scan Mapper Plus,
Okay.
and this one with the camera mods of around 45,000.
45,000, but that's what, half of what it used to be a year ago?
Well, the mapper version came down quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
It was
Yeah.
at 30, now it's at 18.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I knew one of them dropped in half. And what's the payload? What does that weigh?
Austin, what's the Mapper Plus weigh? I mean, it's light. I mean, this one's lighter than the Mapper.
3.5 kilograms.
Yeah, about
Okay.
3.5 kilograms.
So, will the M30 fly it?
No.
You got to have the M300.
Yep, or something similar like the Free Fly Astro.
So tell me about this plane, this VTOL.
So
Are y'all going to pull this out and fly today?
Maybe. We
Maybe.
might fly this one or the Centero from Census Technology. So, but this is the Trinity F90 Plus fixed wing.
Mm-hmm.
This is the hour and a half flight time.
And then, so this is your mobile unit in here.
Yes. This is the mobile command center. Got 2 onboard computers, a 30-foot mast back there. We've got,
You're live.
yeah, no big deal. We've got 2 onboard computers, a 30-foot mast, redundant power system up to 10 hours of shore power. You can turn a generator on to pretty much be in operation for 24 hours. We've got storage here. Floodlights, pretty much everything you need to operate any aircraft.
Do you do any like hurricanes or anything like that, or is this all just LiDAR and stuff?
So we operate all of our aircraft out of this mobile command center. So we actually did some disaster relief mapping down in Florida after the most recent hurricane. We actually flew the Trinity But pretty much think of this thing as just a really big laptop. It just allows us to get our long-range modems in the sky at 30 feet and then operate our aircraft off of the mission planning software.
And before yesterday, how many hours had you drove over the previous 2 days?
A lot. So I've in the past 2 days I've driven 27 hours. So
27 hours.
Yeah, I went out to the Georgia AVSI event on Friday and then turned around and drove down to Texas for this event. And
Okay.
So,
And how tall is that tower?
it's a 30-foot mast.
30-foot mast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
So it is. Yeah.
Can you broadcast Wi-Fi or anything or no?
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
actually have a Wi-Fi converter here that once you're connected to Wi-Fi, it converts the Wi-Fi signal to an indoor Wi-Fi signal because it's obviously a metal cage pretty much, and so if you're trying to connect with the doors closed, it's pretty impossible. So this over here, this CC crane that we have, it will pretty much create our own Wi-Fi signal inside of the cab.
You can keep talking.
Yeah, and we have a long-range radio as well to talk to air traffic control here, so we can speak to air traffic control whenever we need to. We don't do it a lot, to be honest, because obviously we don't want to bug those guys, but if necessary, we're running full ADS-B as well, so we know impeding aircraft whenever we're flying. This is Mission Planner that we have, so this is for the Centero BVLOS that we're running, but we can also run Cubase 3D for the Trinity. We can run UGCS for any of our multi-rotor aircraft, but yeah, it makes life a lot easier, and obviously you can charge all your batteries as well, and we have an AC and heater as well that we can turn on.
And there's a table that folds out for mission planning,
Yep,
and
yep.
you can write on it. It looks like.
Yep. So we just have storage back here. So these are 2 tables you can work off of. Obviously, a fire extinguisher for safety and everything, but yeah, I mean it makes our lives easy here. So it's pretty nice that we have it. But that is pretty much everything with MCC. So we're gonna
Awesome.
get it out later.
And where can they find you and contact you?
So yeah, we're Frontier Precision Unmanned. We're located out of Fort Worth, Texas, but we have offices all over America. Our headquarters being in Bismarck, North Dakota. We've got offices in Colorado, Minnesota, Florida, Hawaii, Alaska. So we're pretty much spread out.
Montana, all the Dakotas,
Yeah, we
cover.
cover all the 50 states. But we are Frontier Precision Unmanned. I'm Austin Rains. My colleague over there is Jake Jindal. We're located in Fort Worth, Texas, and so you can look us
Cool.
up, frontierprecision.com, pretty much.
Thanks. Yeah, he did it awesome. Yesterday was our workshop. So you're not going to believe the superstars that are here. We've got Kenji Sugihara. Kenji Sugihara is the one that does all of the. Kenji Sugihara is the one that does all the car commercials that you see for Chevrolet, Ford, BMW. He's done work with HBO and all kinds of cinematic stuff. That's Chief Wade Baker. He is the director of DJI over the United States. So he runs the DJI. So we're going to go over here, and Kenji Sugihara is teaching how to do films for like movies and things like that. That's Kenji flying right there, FPV. Of course, we'll interview him later. We are in Houston, Texas. There's an M30 up there because Nathan Ernst of Skyworks is over there teaching inspections, largest inspection company in the world. We got Ken Dono here. I was talking to Billy Kyle earlier. So Nathan is over there. I don't want to bother him while he's flying in the air, but he's flying an M30 over there teaching. There goes the DJI FPV's got a certain sound about it. So, if you watched 60 Minutes not too long ago, you would have seen Bobby on there. Bobby is the one with PayPixel, and he mapped all of Florida for free in 60 minutes with drones, and did it for free so everybody could see their. Hey, Bobby, here you go, man. You are live on YouTube.
Don't do that to me.
No, on YouTube.
All right.
So, tell me about your 60-minute interview and what happened.
So I'm Bobby
In
Quinn. I'm the founder.
2 minutes.
What's that?
Just in 2 minutes.
I can do that quick. I'm Bobby Quinn. I'm the founder of PayPixel. What happened during 60 minutes? So we're building a software for people to share files and send invoices and money. We were building in September and running out of cash. We saw Hurricane Ian coming. It was a perfect opportunity to use what we built over the last 15 months to make a difference. So we kind of turned around and repurposed our software that we were building to make it free for homeowners to order imagery of their properties for free following the storm in the affected area.
Live.
So we
Like
did
yesterday.
as live as you could get.
Yeah,
I drove my
live.
truck down. I had my guys build an app specifically built for that within the last 100 hours before the storm hit. I sat through the storm in my truck, and the next day I was out in a really hard-hit area called Rotunda West. We took 8,000 images over 9 hours riding on the back of a scooter that I borrowed from a homeowner that was evacuated that reached out on Twitter. And 60 Minutes got a hold of it. They interviewed us 3 days later, and it was awesome. But what it meant for the industry, for drone pilots, is proving a need where people need drone imagery. There is already satellite and aerial imagery
And you did it
available.
for free.
We did it for free.
If someone's in California and their family lives there, they can't reach them by phone because all the power lines are down.
Power lines are down. There was a complete dead spot of communications. The people inside couldn't reach the people outside. The people outside couldn't reach inside. So being able to drive in, get the imagery needed, drive out, upload it, it connected everybody really quickly. And there was no one out there doing that at the time. It was, drone pilots helping out the insurance agencies.
So
and helping
someone
the
has
state.
to think about it to do it first.
Yeah, absolutely.
So next time there's a need for that.
Absolutely.
The insurance fraud purposes. I mean safety reasons.
Even beyond monetizing it, what we want to do is we want to scale out. There's a lot of drone pilots like me and you and a lot of people out there that want to help when the time is needed. What I want to do is create a benevolent group of guys that want to take their hobby, want to take their career, their specialty, and really help in a good way.
Okay,
And
now,
this is the way to do that.
and how do they find out more about your business and what do you do and what's it cost?
So
And you got a special right now.
yeah, we do. So you can go to paypixel.io. It's paypixl.io. Here's the company. Right now we're running a special. So we have a free side of the software, but PayPixel Pro is $216 for the year. It's $18 a month. But right now, if you sign up, $216 for the year gets you PayPixel Pro for life. We're running that special. We just launched our subscription service to pilots.
So if you're a drone pilot and you're doing real estate and you send the file to the realtor, they can look at it, but they can't download it.
That's right. We put your images and your videos behind a paywall with watermarks, and your imagery sent with one link with the invoice attached. Your customers can see the images, the videos behind the watermark, and when they pay, they'll get another link immediately where they can download the files.
That's huge.
Yeah,
That's huge. I mean,
and as we grow, we're going to do 3D model support
Yeah,
and
'cause-
orthomosaic support. So,
especially with realtors.
Especially with realtors.
I mean, industries are going to pay you if you're doing power line inspections and stuff, but realtors, they as soon as they see it, yeah, all right.
that's right. I
Bo-
appreciate it, man.
Man, Bobby, thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right. Yeah, thank you for all you do. Yeah. So, I'm gonna walk over here. Looks like we've got a drone in the air. This is Jared Janicek. So when Pilot Institute reached out to have the best mapper in the world do their for Greg Revenue with Pilot Institute, he reached out to Jared Janicek. So Jared taught mapping yesterday. Oh, and look over there. There's Drone Jesus, the director of Autel Robotics and International, the trainer that goes around. Mark Colburn. We've got Adrian Doko.
Or like John said, maybe there's some separation or some gap in there where the overlap is. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So, I think if I...
Oh, you don't have to wear it. I'm just for a minute.
Okay. I'm going to go to my settings, and I'm going to see my... They have another web page that shows this a lot better. So I just need to find it real quick. Sorry.
Is that a microphone?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So they have an older version of the software that I think explains things a little better. Same kind of a dashboard. Here we see our satellite signals. But down here you see a map of your position. Okay. But as we zoom into the map, the scale right here is at 10 meters. But I'm going to zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. You see how it's moving around? That's a scale of 50 millimeters, so 5 centimeters. But look, it's moving. That's every second it gets a reading from the satellites, and that's where it thought it was. And it's moving all over the place. Okay, even a high precision instrument like that, it's still moving. So we can turn on that track to say, follow it and show me the last 10,000 readings.
You get that mic.
I mean, look, it is like, it is moving. Walking all over the place. That's a scale of a meter. So that's why your angle of attack, your pitch.
What's up, man?
What's happening?
You're live on YouTube.
Oh, live on YouTube. Don't tell anyone.
So this is John McBride, international director
global VP of training and
of Autel.
technology.
So if you buy a dragonfish, you get John with it.
That's right.
All right. So tell us about the new V3.
So V3. So it is just follows along with the Autel Evo 2 series. The V3 adds a couple of extra things into the actual unit, and physically it is a little bit different. So it's got larger holes on it, better processing with the new chipset, and we were able to use LiveDeck 2. If you're not familiar with what LiveDeck 2 is, it's a direct connection to the actual drone that then transmits to a separate location, great for public safety, to be able to see without having to send through a network. And that can be very challenging when we're talking about any type of disaster that knocks down telephone wires and we don't have communication. So you have this way that the drone is actually transmitting information back to an IC. So other than that, thermal camera, 640 by 512,
So talk about thermal cameras on drones. Who was the first person that thought, why don't we put a thermal camera on a drone?
Well, it can go years and years and years ago, but really it
was you, wasn't it?
Well, you can go years and years and years ago. For me, it was an experimentation. I don't know if I was the first one because we didn't have
How long were you with DJI?
Well, actually, I just sold DJI. I was never actually with DJI. However, there were some communications and working with FLIR, but kind of talking about putting a thermal camera on a drone. And I was doing that way before even getting involved with the company, is picking out a camera, put it on a drone, and initially people were like, well, that's just too expensive, it's too big, it's too this, it's too that.
And we're talking 15 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
When thermal cameras cost what?
Oh, I think the one I had was $25,000 for just a camera.
Yeah.
And it was not optimized to even be on a drone. So it's like taking a GoPro that wasn't optimized to put on, and you just put it on something, but it was big.
Yeah.
And that was early days.
And you had to build your own drones to do it.
You had to build your own drones. You had to build everything. So nowadays that we've got this integration, it was one of those things of like, again, I couldn't control the camera to any degree. I couldn't, other than trying to trick it.
You just had to turn it on and take off.
Just turn it on, get into video image from it, and that was about it. No color palette changes. Couldn't change any of the gain settings, so that introduction from FLIR to DJI really kind of opened it up and broadened that capability, and being able to say, hey, we can do things with this remotely and optimize how we actually use it with it integrated into the camera. Now, a lot of other companies then follow suit, or there was others that had some things, but not quite that integration. And Autel definitely was one of those ones that added that and created that connection. Yeah.
And so the dragonfish, there's three layers.
3 separate sizes of dragonfish. So dragonfish is an eVTOL aircraft, so it flies like a normal drone, but it's shaped like an airplane. So when we take off like a drone. It then starts gaining some speed and transitions to a forward flying fixed wing aircraft. We get about an hour and a half on the standard, and that's the mid-sized one. Then we've got a smaller one that's called the light, and a bigger one that's called the pro. And depending on flight time, transportability, those are all factors that come into play.
From about 75 to 200,000.
Yes.
Yeah, 75.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah,
but
we're talking about for Border Patrol, Texas. How many they have?
They have 4.
For
in Texas.
Yeah, just in Texas for the Border Patrol.
Yeah, so they use it for Border Patrol. They use it for Overwatch. More recently, one of the special agents, Ben, that works for as a special agent for DPS, is primary pilot for one of them, and he was in a wildland fire call out. So all kinds of great things, and the advantage here is being able to take advantage of the flight time. That's the advantage, is the time in the air. So instead of having to go up for 20 minutes, come back, go up for 20 minutes, swapping
you're
back and forth,
About an hour and a half.
you're an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, an hour and a half to stay on station and figure out where the what's ever going on for an
Yeah.
hour and a half in the air.
Yeah, that's
So,
awesome.
Yeah, it almost gets pretty boring to fly because it's also very automated. The one thing is that it isn't a dual person operation. It's a single operator. Basically, you're operating the camera and the aircraft is automatically flying and doing what it needs to put the camera where it needs to go.
Right, yeah.
So very much hands off.
All right.
And the sticks are
Well,
very
well, John's my favorite person in the drone industry.
Yeah.
He's got the
Well, I
coolest hair.
appreciate that.
All right, John. I'm headed to see you. They're in Ogden.
I'm excited. We'll
yeah.
be able to come by the Autel office where
Yeah.
we do all of our training for the Dragonfish. So all of
Uh-huh.
our training is done in Utah. We can't come if you purchase and train somewhere else, but all of everything operations in Utah. So
All right.
Working out.
Cool. Thanks a lot, John.
Okay.
Man, I was so tempted to photobomb. But then I didn't want to get kicked out. I was traveling one time, I don't know where.
It's not a real-time connection. It's only PPK. You can't tap into that real time. So all it does is sit there and just log all day long. So, all right.
So over there is they're teaching thermography. So they're teaching thermography over there. Morning. Morning. Gonna walk back over here. I gotta see if Kenji Sugahara. There's Chris. He owns a pretty large drone company in Texas. Morning, morning. Go back over here. If you missed, so this is the mobile unit. If you didn't see that before with Frontier Precision, go back and watch this mobile command unit they have here, where they do disaster relief. I interviewed him and he talked all about that thing has a 30-foot mast that goes up when they bring this to disasters with drones and map it, put up a Wi-Fi, put up a LiDAR unit with the M30. This is an eVTOL right here for doing LiDAR and thermal imaging work. This is the new Sense. This is one of the only planes right now that has a BV loss waiver. So they can fly this drone beyond visual line of sight with different payloads. And of course, they're hooking up the Alta because you got to hook that Alta up to fly the big, the big red cameras and all that kind of stuff. And it looks like he's about to put the mask up on the mobile unit. But there's only a couple planes. Actually, this one's warming up, it sounds like. Of course, it takes off like a drone and then it flies. But you can fly this one probably out 15, 20 miles legally through the FAA because you've got your BV loss waivers. So what that means is you can't fly your drone beyond visual line of sight. So just recently, so there's a cone in the front of this that has a 2,000 meters in front of it. It's not going to run into anything. So it's not a camera, but it's obstacle avoidance. But it's different than just obstacle avoidance of running into something 2,000 feet. This camera right there is very expensive. So we got Nate Ernst over here with Skyward. He's teaching power line inspections.
There's cement towers, and they're brick and mortar houses. You can't break those, right? And now what they're moving over to now, which is just an advancement in technology, they call it steel monitoring.
And then over here we've got Kenji Sugahara. So if you watch the drone commercials with BMW, Ford, Chevrolet, all of those cool shots where the drones are flying around that's Kenji. Kenji's the guy best known in Hollywood. Vanover is getting pretty popular. Our two-time world champion there from Texas, FPV pilot for FPV work.
I've also got an extra pair of goggles too if someone wants to wear some and
spectate. We could have 3 people.
Yeah, we could.
You could fly. I've got these. I've got another pair of V1s.
I have an Avata.
Oh.
You want me to bring it over? Huh? Okay, all right. Gonna go let Ken fly my Avata. Again, that is Captain Wayne Baker. He is over DJI in. Let me turn this around. So Keith Wade Baker runs DJI in the United States. So if you've got any problems, he's the guy to talk to in the United States. Got my Avata with me. I brought my thermal imaging drone. They're using it over there. I've got the Enterprise Advanced. I got the Mini 3 here, and I got my Maverick 3. So walk back over here.
It doesn't take into consideration FPV camera angle and roll and yaw. And so,
The batteries are charged up.
lovely.
So like if you pitch up to go slower,
So here, for instance, if you're going here,
you're fastest.
and you go this way, it rotates you this way, and it incorporates the yaw for you. Whereas that's not how it actually works. You have to input that yaw at the same time to keep that flat. Because otherwise, if you're here and you flip it here, now you're staring at the ground. But in that sim, you're still staring at the same camera angle that you were before.
The Velocidrone,
And it
does
just
have
it
that?
irks me because it's just this. Yeah, no, it's like.
So do the video producers tell you how to fly, or they just tell you what they want?
They just say what they want, and then you tell them if you can do it or not.
Yeah.
But a lot of times too, they trust your creativity because if they found you, that's what they found you for.
In FPV, they usually give you creative license anyways.
Yeah.
It's like they have an
Make
idea.
it look cool.
Yeah. And with the FPV, if you have 5 or 6, then if you crash down the first time,
Have you tried DJI's flight sim?
No.
Right, so we're pulling out the Dragonfish, the $150,000 drone. We'll get that set up pretty quick. You busy?
no.
Want to introduce people? Whoops.
That was a good catch.
That's a DJI. It'll handle it. So, want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Wayne Baker, Director of Public Safety Integration at DJI, and been working with DJI for about 3 years. A lot of it with public safety teams, starting their drone programs or seeing what they're doing that works best for everybody.
You do a lot of training?
I do some training. I do a lot of learning, actually.
Oh, really?
Going around with agencies and you know, obviously the product knowledge training with some of them, but then finding out how they're using drones to go out there and protect themselves and the public and save lives.
You stay away from the political part of it?
I do. I try to. It's not always that easy with the vast amount of misinformation out there. But yeah, what my focus on is trying to help agencies leverage the technology. It doesn't even have to be DJI technology to as I mentioned earlier, protect themselves and save lives. So it's we're seeing globally how drones are doing that. We have the DJI live saved map on our website. I believe we're getting pretty close to 1,000 live saves. 1,000 lives that have been documented to have been saved by drones, and that doesn't include DJI drones. Obviously, there's other drone manufacturers out there that have contributed. Specifically, I believe it was Spain last year that a purpose-built drone for lifeguards to carry and deliver a life ring to a young boy was used.
And a defibrillator to a guy that had a heart attack.
And that
in
is
Germany.
Absolutely, that is something that you know, I'm still a paramedic, and so I've for a long time seen the value of electrical therapy for someone in sudden cardiac arrest, and if you can get electrical therapy to them, a defibrillator, within the first 5 minutes, their chance of survival increases astronomically. So as we look towards DFR programs for drone as a first responder, you know, the delivery of those kinds of...
Yeah, the San Diego area is really...
Oh, yeah. Chula Vista Police Department has been leading the way for a number of years.
And by a woman.
Yes, Chief is doing a great job there. She's really progressive and really just got one of the best programs that
she's
continues
awesome.
to win.
Yeah. I've spoken to her. So when people think of DJI, they think everything's based out of China. They don't think they have an American force, that there's a guy there with a cowboy hat on. You know,
I'm a very lucky DJI employee in that I get to live in my home state of Texas and can continue to, you know, I travel a lot and we have offices around the U.S., but being able to be home in Texas is great.
Yeah.
And so it does make for challenging meeting times, you know, when we're a global company, and so even just in the U.S., syncing times with our team across New York to Burbank is is interesting. But yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Chief.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely.
it.
Thank you.
So your background is in law enforcement.
Fire. I was
fire.
I was one of the good guys, as I say. I actually, because of the smartest cop in the world, became a firefighter. I years ago, as a police explorer in the Los Angeles area, I rode with a police officer one night that we passed an engine crew, and he said, "Don't do this job, do that job. Those guys get recliners and TVs, and they sleep at night." And I said, "I'm lazy enough for that job." And so a few years later, I ended up becoming a firefighter and did 26 years, the last 10 as a fire chief in the Fort Worth area.
In Fort Worth, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I interviewed the Roanoke Fire Department, David, and because they've been using drones for 3 years for accident investigations and cleanup and stuff. Is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Good
thank you
work.
so much.
All right. Thank you.
All right. All right, guys. It looks like they're getting these sensors put over here together. So over here we've got Billy Kyle, my favorite drone YouTuber. Ken Dono's around here somewhere.
Closer, but it's also smaller, so it's a trade-off.
You learning something, Billy?
Sure am. Yep.
So the ones that just came on, I'm gonna walk back over here. If you've been watching, I'm sorry that I'm repeating myself, but there's only a couple drones that have a BV loss waiver, and this is one of them right here. This is the Sense. So that's the cone in the front of that. As you can hear it, it's warming up. Obstacle avoidance on that thing is crazy. Alta. Got an eVTOL set up. Got an M300.
On the bank of the river.
With the LiDAR unit.
The only thing that broke was the gimbal. Oh wow.
That's their mobile command unit. We got a 30-foot tower up there.
Yeah, luckily we haven't had any issues like that yet. But it always
The free flight's come a long way.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, it wasn't their fault. I mean,
No.
Do you have a few more minutes?
Yes, sir.
You're not busy?
What we got?
So tell me about this bad boy over here.
This is the Centero, the BV Loss. So, wide range of applications for this guy. LiDAR, photogrammetry. It's got about a 60-minute flight time. All operated from the mobile command center over here. So
Tell me about the cone in the front.
that's a camera, so you have a front person view.
But the obstacle avoidance also, or?
Yes.
Yeah. Cost?
This one, I want to say, hey Austin, BV loss cost.
What?
The cost, price.
Of the aircraft or everything?
The aircraft.
Everything.
Approximately 70K.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
It's cheaper
And
than a
then-
dragonfish.
Then you add, LiDAR sensor.
Well, yeah, LiDAR.
Yeah, then you're talking about
LiDAR's 150.
115.
115 for the LiDAR system. Yeah.
Yep.
So then you're up to 200. Yeah, 200,000.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
but what's the ROI on that? How fast do you return it? Month?
I mean, it depends on your projects and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, this thing will. I mean, if you get a few projects under your belt, you'll pay for it.
Yeah, no time.
I mean,
yeah.
And this thing, like I said, it's with the BV loss, you're covering a huge amount of acreage and large project sites. So it's
How many
perfect.
acres a day, or let's say in one flight?
You could cover. I mean, a few hundred acres.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right. For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
What's the pay lift of this drone?
What's that?
What's the pay lift? I mean, what will this drone carry?
You can carry a huge. I mean, almost up to that 55-pound limit. I mean,
Yeah.
This guy could carry.
Then it goes into class 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the largest class 1 drone, I think, isn't it?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
You can put a big LiDAR unit on these guys. So yeah, this guy's a beast. Quick. It's fast.
70. What would it do? I know the Inspire 2 will hit. It'll hit close to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick setup time too for what it does.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. You just, the arms right here, you put the legs on.
Uh huh.
And they just.
Wow, all 4 at once.
Yep.
My goodness.
So it's just pretty quick. That's it.
That's pretty cool.
Your legs are on. Your landing gear.
And just about any payload you can put on there.
Pretty much.
Yeah. On top and bottom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the batteries go on top, but yeah. It's cool.
If y'all have any, I'd like to get Billy. Have we got any Billy Kyle fans out there that want me to re-interview Billy? I can do it. All right, guys. I'm wanting to get Mark over here. So, the training programs for the police departments. This is one of the things they use to get certifications. They have to fly off of this, and then they've got to go over these different buckets and take pictures to prove. Oh, you want to talk to Billy? Okay. You got to fly over these buckets within 10 minutes and take a perfect picture pointed down and from all different directions in these. So the police department's trying to come up with let me get away. Something that you can do to get certified that you know how to operate a drone, because so many people just grab them and think that they can play them. Where did Billy go? All right, guys, I'll tell you what, we're gonna break for lunch and stuff, and I will come back live later. If y'all leave a comment underneath, I'll try to get Billy. Like I said, Ken Dono's here somewhere. That's original Dobo, if you watch his channel. But Billy Kyle's my favorite. I think he's the best at, let me turn this around. Ah! Right, we're in Houston. All right, guys, so thanks very much for watching. And I'll see you. I'll be back later on this afternoon and show you some more of when these drones are in the air, especially when we get the dragonfish put together. See you later.